Greetings, greetings. How's everybody doing out there? Yes, okay. So I am new to streaming this way. So I'm just making sure everything is okay. Yes, mic is working. Okay, so greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tyrone Milade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. How's everybody out there? How y'all doing? I hope that you are hanging in there. I just have been getting so many just mixed messages. When I say mixed, just, everyone's experiencing this time in a different way. So I'm really hoping that even if it feels like there's a struggle, that you hang in there knowing that, this is a part of the evolutionary process. I've been listening to one of my teachers talk, and how one of the things that I've been hearing this morning for myself is, in order to get what you want, you'll have to give up your old life in order to get to your new life. And a lot of times, what ends up happening, and this is something I know personally, is when change and up leveling, um, evolution is on the horizon, then a lot of times all of our stuff comes up for us to look at. It's like chaos breaks loose. And I always explain it as whatever was there before you wanted to move into a new place in your life or achieve a new goal, whatever was keeping you at that first or where you currently are, it's going to come up for you to do something with. So just know, a lot of times when we're feeling ill at ease, or, just life is really and truly rough, that if we can just continue to keep our focus on the lesson, if we can continue to keep our focus on where we want to go, then more than likely we'll get there and just be like, why was I ever staying back where I was, you know? So, yeah, I hope that you all are well. I wanted to get on it today and do our full moon uh, wisdom discussion. And I do want to just start off with letting you all know that I do have that mini reading special that I had back in March. I brought it back this month, and it's $35 for a 30-minute reading. And let me share my screen so I can show you where you will find it. As you can see, this is my website, goddessbodymindspirit.com. You go to the services page and it's right here. I posted this yesterday, sent it out to my email list. So if you're not on my email list, you can get on my email list by going to my website. And I've already sold 5, people have already ordered 5 readings. And so just know, one of the things I am going to highlight in this reading is the Venus retrograde, trying to make sure you understand specifically for you what this means, okay? And then the other thing I wanted to tell you about is I actually created a Venus retrograde 2020 course. Venus only goes retrograde like every other year. And so for me, this is one of the most pivotal astrological events that we're going to experience this year, because Venus is retrograding in Gemini, and Gemini is a sign of interest, because wherever the eclipses are happening is where we will be focused. So if you want to know what's going on, look at what house is ruled for you by Capricorn and Cancer. Now, if you don't understand what that means, if you just listen to most astrologers, let's say you are, let's say you only know your sun sign and your sun sign is Gemini. They'll say, well, Gemini, for you, the eclipses are happening in whatever, fill in the blank, right? Um, and when you listen to them, you'll be like, oh my God, that's exactly what's going on. I had no idea how important the eclipses were until those eclipses happened in Virgo and Pisces, which I knew nothing at the time. And then I was like, I've got to start studying astrology. That's what made me start studying astrology, those eclipses. And so I listened to what they meant hindsight, because when the eclipses hit me, it was the last eclipse in Pisces and Virgo at that time. And so once I look back as to what they stood for, it was like, that's exactly what was going on in my life. Oh my God, those eclipses rocked my world. So Venus is retrograding in Gemini, and the eclipses this year will shift after June and July. There is actually going to be an eclipse in Sagittarius in June. So the eclipses will start shifting. And when they shift and go into a new sign, which is always two that they're happening in. And so it'll be Sag and Gemini. But Gemini is where everybody's headed towards. The part of the eclipse that says, hey, go here, do this, is Gemini. And so with Venus happening in the house of Gemini, wow, I mean, it cannot be overstated. We really need to be focused on this retrograde, because it's not just what's going to happen. First of all, Venus just stays in a sign for 3 weeks, and it's going to be retrograde or in this house of Gemini for 5 months. That's how mind-boggling it is. For those of us who really are into astrology, we know when a planet stays in a sign much longer than it typically does, it's incredible. But and then Venus is so important. You know, you want to connect with Oshun, you want to know what Oshun doing in your life, keep up with Venus. As you can see here, I also have this course that I created. It's not for sale right now, but well, if you get in my my inner circle, it's there. You always have access to it. Those who are in the inner circle. But I did create this course, and I talked about the importance of keeping up with Venus in order to have some type of Oshun theme. So just look at this as like an Oshun theme for those of you who are into Ifa. If you're into the Metaneta Het Haru, if you're into Vodun, this would be Urzali. We could just keep going down the list. All right. Someone even mentioned Hindu tradition the other day, Saraswati. All right. We don't limit ourselves here. But this is at goddessbodymindspirit.podia.com. I'll need to go put a link on my website, so you can find it there if you don't know. But I'll put it in the link. I'll put a link in the bio. Was there anything else I wanted to tell you all about? I think that's it. So yeah, just wanted to let y'all know about that. So what I want to tell y'all is this full moon in Scorpio is like perfect for moving into a time. We're moving into a different feel, you could say. We're moving into a time where we've been heretofore very busy. And now we are moving into the one thing I will say that I don't like about this is I don't see comments. So I have to figure that out, because typically I live stream so I can see comments. But anywho, we've been in this very fast-paced time, and it's been go, 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 go. And now we're getting ready to move into a time where we're going to slow down, and we're going to begin to look back, and maybe we have some unfinished business that we need to take care of. So we're going to begin to look at what is that unfinished business. Okay. So this Scorpio time is about releasing and letting go. This is what Scorpio is all about. Scorpio is about change and transformation. And so I just think it's just so appropriate to be at a time where we actually are getting ready to slow down and start looking back. But also, as we're doing this, we're making plans for moving forward at the same time. We're not actually going to be moving forward, though, y'all. Please hear me when I say this. We are now at a point where we might need to be more about maintaining and maybe fixing things. That's another thing, because we have a lot of energy that's about fixing things right now. Especially next week is when this is really going to get heightened. So maintaining and fixing, because we're going to have by Thursday of next week, I think it is. It's either Wednesday or Thursday. 4 retrograde planets. 3 planets next week go retrograde. 3 planets go retrograde. So I'm going to see if I can pull up my. I want to see if I can pull up my. I want to see if y'all are commenting. And I have 2 YouTube profiles. And so you'll just see Tyra, if I can actually catch this feed. There we go. Greetings. Y'all will see me commenting from my other room. You'll see my first name only, Tyra. But yeah, so we're at a point where we're slowing down and we are needing to maintain and fix things. That's what I was saying. And it's with, though, the intent after. Now, did y'all hear that word? After July. July 15th. That's about the time that we can begin to move forward. Okay. So we can use this time with the Scorpio full moon. Now, y'all know the full moon is it's not just about emotion and things going to hell in a handbasket. All right. I like looking at all the different ways this thing could manifest. Because let me tell you something, when you on your game, maybe life isn't as hard all the time. Life doesn't have to be hard all the time. Yeah, that's something I'm learning to embrace. It's okay for life to be good the majority of the time. Or bumps to feel more of like you're going over a speed bump than having to go over a freaking, mountain. And there's nothing wrong with having to go over a mountain. But oh my God, if all we do is mountain climb, we're going to get exhausted. All right. So it doesn't mean that we have to, things have to go to hell in a handbasket. So please know you may see some things manifesting that you actually want. Scorpio has to do with change and transformation. So maybe you're going to see a transformation that you've really been working on in yourself, or something you've been working on. You'll see this thing come manifest during this full moon. It has Scorpio has to do with trust, and it has to do with other people's resources, shared resources. So maybe you trust it, and you'll see your trust in whatever you trusted in, it paid off, right? Having some trust. Or maybe for some who are waiting on the stimulus check return. But I think most of y'all who watch me are from the United States. And if you have been waiting for a stimulus check, maybe I'm not saying this for sure, but Scorpio is about that kind of thing. I mean, I'm just being 100. It may be if you haven't gotten it, it'll come sometime close to this Scorpio full moon. Now, remember, the full moon energy goes for about 2 weeks. So from the full moon to about 2 weeks out, maybe that is something that you'll see manifest for you. Okay. Or just something regarding money. that comes from perhaps someone else, or just some money that you share, some money that's owed to you, something like that. It actually could manifest during a full moon. Who would not want that? And if it's not money, resources, okay, some resources, something you needed, it could manifest. Let's see here. What else did I want to tell you? Now, the full moon is an emotional moon. It can be very emotional. It can bring up stuff that we need to see because it's illuminating. You know, it has a lot of light about it, and so maybe during this full moon, you could notice something comes to light that needs to be worked on. It could be something comes to light to everything that, I've mentioned, and it may not necessarily be positive because the full moon can bring up, we all have known before we knew anything about uh, Scorpio and astrology in depth. The full moon it's a trip. I used to work at a hotel, and I always knew when it was a full moon. I saw stuff I never would see unless it was at the full moon. One night, I remember some guy came running into the lobby. This is down in Atlanta. Came running into the lobby talking about he had been shot. Y'all know I was not here for that. I'm like, I wasn't raised up like this. He comes running in, yelling and screaming. I'm like, oh, that's right, it's the full moon. He was fine though. He was actually caught up in some bad, I don't know, some kind of deal he was involved in, and he was trying to get out of it. But anywho, yeah, it could be some full moon shenanigans. It's just crazy, right? Um, but this is the thing that we have to remember. We walk in awareness. So if you're walking in awareness and something comes up, then it's an opportunity. That's one of the energies speaking for the month of May in the inner circle monthly reading that I do is opportunity. And opportunity can be found in any situation. And if we see the things that happen to us, that now, of course, when it's something we love, we're like, oh, I had this opportunity come, and oh my gosh, it was like the perfect opportunity. I was at the right place at the right moment. And look at me, right? When it's something good. But when things are not going well, we don't all the time see the opportunity in that. So I encourage you, if something comes up during this full moon that is not pleasant, the question is, what is this an opportunity for you to do or to see or to understand? How can this help you move more in the direction of what you want in life? Move to be more in alignment with your highest, most authentic self. All right. So yeah. Yeah. Let me see what else I want to tell y'all. Okay. Now, this full moon actually has the energy of Mercury in it because the Mercury and the sun are actually right now right together. And I've heard more people talk about like big bang type things happening, like intensity, or I don't know, just like this spark of something. And it may be positive, may be negative, but most of people just sort of been feeling it like a zing, like, like getting shocked or something like that. Because when Mercury, this fast planet, gets with the heated up energy of the sun, then, it's probably going to be a little zingy. So some of us may feel supercharged. Like I had problems. I woke up in the middle of the night. Let me not say I had problems sleeping. I woke up in the middle of the night and it was very challenging for me to get back. And it probably was some of this energy because it is energizing. Well, because Mercury is still right there by the sun, well, maybe it won't be there by the full moon, actually. But hold on one second, y'all. I just really want to see something really quickly. Mercury. Okay. I need to just double check before I give y'all incorrect information. What will Mercury be? This is my ephemeris. I don't know if y'all can see that. But I love the ephemeris. I got this one off of Cafe Astrology. It's free. Y'all don't even have to pay for it. The full moon is on Thursday. Oh, it'll be pretty close to that full moon. The full moon is at 17 degrees of Scorpio, and Mercury will be at 19 degrees of Taurus. So yes, Mercury is going to be a part of the full moon. And so our mind, there might be a purification that needs to happen in our mind. And with all this that's going on with Gemini, which is about the mind, yes, 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 yes. It could be that we can do something to help purify and cleanse our minds. Actually, Scorpio is about cleanse and purify. So that's something else you might want to think about. How do you need to cleanse and purify? All right. Body, mind, spirit, emotions. Mercury has to do with communication. So I just encourage everybody, if you get upset, just try to walk away, take some deep breaths, because Scorpio is sharp. Or if someone gets jiggy with you, just be like, you know what? I need you to just take some deep breaths. Let's not do this, because in a couple of days, no one's going to be acting that way. Okay. This too shall pass. This is a thing, that we need to remember. This too shall pass. They ain't going to last forever. Transits come and they go. All right. So we just want to be a little bit, chilled out during this time when it comes to communication. But I will say, maybe you need to be more empowered, because that's what Scorpio is about. It's about being more empowered, burning off which keeps us disempowered. And so maybe you need to journal about how to step more into your power. Maybe you need to journal about is deep healing therapeutic. Maybe you're going to go sign up for talk therapy or something, or something therapeutic that will help with the mind. All right. So, yeah. Now, the energy speaking in this full moon is the energy of Aset. This is from the Metu Neter Oracle. I was really happy to see this because it's Aset Hetep. All right. So Aset is the energy of the mother. She's the mother face of the goddess. Within the Ifa tradition, she is Yemoja. I need to really figure out Vodun. I know La Bellion, the whale. I don't know if I'm saying that correct or not, but that would be Yemoja. Oh, of course, she's the energy of the moon. So the fact that she's speaking during this full moon in Hetep, I just really think this could be a positive, optimistic moon if we follow what Yemoja says. I said Yemoja. I say, to me, the names are interchangeable. I said Yemoja. Oh, a lot of people know this energy by Isis also. But she says, take care of yourself, love yourself, have compassion for yourself. And, it's okay to help other people, but you should not try to fix anybody. Let other people fix themselves, and just you really pour into your own self. She says, look to see where you're being complacent. It's okay to be comfortable, but don't be complacent. And so this full moon is a time where, with grace and ease, because this is Hetep. Hetep means that the way is open for this energy to manifest in a, gentle way with ease, effortlessness, and all that kind of good stuff. And so it would be a good time for us to, I forgot the point I was going to make. Complacent, take care of yourself. Oh, well, we may find that we are complacent in some areas, but when she's speaking this way, it will be easier for us to accept, you know what, I really need to move from this area where I'm being a little bit complacent. I need to get moving and get going. Now, this is an energy that also has to do with memory and trance. And so, maybe there's some memories that might come up, but you'll be able to see the lesson, release, and let them go. Or memories that come up and you're like, wow, that makes me feel so good. I needed to remember that. that has brought healing. Because see, Scorpio is a very healing moon. Now it's deep healing. It will bring up every wound, every pain. Scorpio is like, we getting ready to go into the depths of this thing. Scorpio rules the colon and the anus. It rules where, excretions come out. And of course it's ruled, one of the planets is um Pluto, which has to do with the plumbing, right? Scorpio is not afraid of going into the poop, into those dark and dirty and slimy and black, pipes, that because it's plumbing in the house or whatever, in the building. And so it will go there. The ancient ruler of Scorpio is Mars. And Mars is like, I'm here for this. Let's do this. Let's go on ahead and go on ahead. We got the courage to do this, right? But with this Yemanjah speaking, there's this healing vibe to it, this nurturing energy to it. So I just encourage you to open yourselves up to anything that will bring healing. The other thing that I'm really getting back into, because I'm starting to just study, just taking my studies to a new place, is trance. And how when we experience emotion, because of course, Yamaja said has to do with emotion. And so something that's so important is to understand that when we experience emotion, we are in a trance state. Whatever we're experiencing an emotion about, so you keep experiencing a negative emotion, just the actual experience of the emotion is trance. Positive emotion, the experience of the emotion is trance. And the more you experience that emotion, the more it gets set in you. And the more it gets set in you, it affects your vibration. And it creates a vibration where you just keep bringing that to you. Have you ever noticed when you said, you know what, I'm tired of being like this. I'm just not going to be frustrated no more. I'm done. It's over. And all of a sudden, it's like a breakthrough happens, right? So these are things that we can be thinking about when it comes to how to work with this energy of Yemanjah Aset. Okay, this is from the Metunetter. Let me see. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? I closed out my tab with where I can comment, but yeah, I see your comments here on my phone. So I'm glad y'all are here. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to tell y'all about this moon. I will say I did post that there's a journal. I'm going to share my screen again. I want to show y'all where y'all can get the journal. It's where my membership site is. And again, my membership site is at goddessbodymindspirit.podia.com, but I will make sure you can find it on my website. But once you get here, if you go to the membership and then right here, May journal guide now available, you can download the journal guide because it's right here. The more we write and game plan, the better. I cannot fully explain it. I've been listening to some of the people I'm training under, and what they're saying is that there's like research that's showing this. I need to find it myself. So, I'm not doing quoting a third source or whatever, with 3 sources removed, but this is based on my own experience. There's an astrologer that I learned from, the Dark Pixie Astrologer. And one time she had this membership where she would give you weekly journal sheets. And she would say, okay, this is where the moon is going to be, or this is where Mercury is, or whatever aspect was happening. And you could write down a game plan. I don't remember. It wasn't a very long time that we did this, a few months. But I began to realize every time I journaled about how I was going to work with this energy, and sometimes it was one sentence, like that was all I could come up with. It's not like I was writing a lot. um, I would look at how much I had accomplished, how much I had achieved. If it was more of like what I was talking about with this full moon and understanding, okay, well, this is like the feel of it. This is what I need to be thinking about. If it is a challenging time for me, how will I respond? And so I would write down, okay, I'm going to game plan my response. And it got to a point where I wouldn't even look at what I wrote during the middle of the week, but my consciousness, my subconscious, my Ori remembered what I wrote down, and I just would shift into it. So it has made me an even bigger proponent of journaling, writing, whatever you want to call it. Game planning it is another way that I call it. And so every month I post this journal every month because I do a monthly reading in the inner circle, and I create a journal to go with it. And so one of my ways of being of service to you all is to make sure I share this with everybody, this journal guide. So you can even write out, what you want to do with this full moon on that journal guide. Let's see here. What else did I put? Among other things, it's quite a bit on that journal guide that you can use to kind of game plan. And when I tell you, you need to game plan May, June, and July from now through July 15th. Yeah, you need to be on your game. You need to be on your spiritual game. You need to be doing your spiritual work. It's interesting because Scorpio is actually a very spiritual sign. It is one of the signs that governs astrology and divination and all that kind of good stuff. Very deep, ancient spirituality. And so this is an opportunity for you to get on that game, y'all, that spiritual game. Even with the Venus Retrograde workshop, I created a journal to go with that. I know the sun is probably hitting it and all that kind of good stuff. And y'all can see I've written out my responses. Yes, I do my own. I take my own classes. So my main goal is to make sure y'all are in the know and have some tools that you can use to really guide you. One of the energies that's speaking this month from the in the monthly reading is Manique. And Manique from the Mind Oracle it says you are the tool. And that is one of my main goals, is to help all of y'all realize you've got the juice. You just need to trust it. Again, this is what Scorpio is about. What are you trusting? Are you trusting the right thing? You putting all your trust in everything but you, right? So no, that Scorpio is like, no, boo, you got to trust you. The ultimate trust with other people comes from you trusting you. And so tapping into your own spiritual gifts and your intuition, realizing that you have the faculty of wisdom within you. This is that time right now, y'all. This is that time. And so, of course, I give you a lot of tools, but the ultimate goal is for you to trust you. All right. I'm cheering for you. I want you to stand on your own 2 feet. Now, I mean, here I am almost full 20 years into the game, and I still, count on and depend on my spiritual teachers. So I'm not saying that, we're human, and that's part of the human experience, being able to, make those connections and have those teachers and get that support. But it all points back to you. I will say things that you can do during this time outside of working with this energy of Yemanjah. Well, if you're working with her energy, Yemanjah Aset, I would say, make sure you take a nice relaxing bath. In that bath, or you could do a purifying bath. If you can't do a bath, a purifying shower, where you maybe, if you're in a bath, put the drops in the water if it won't irritate you. or if you're in the shower, just light up like, or, ignite some type of diffuser. And you want to use something like a jasmine and a lavender, a rose, or, oh no, and frankincense and myrrh, because Scorpio is the same energy as Oya. As I see it, I don't know about everybody else, but as I see it, this is Oya, transformation, transformation. So yeah, use that frankincense along with the Yemonja scents that I named, frankincense and myrrh. That's Oya. And for Oya, well, the other thing too, even though it's a full moon, it's still Scorpio. So how can you release? Like, can you come up with a releasing ritual? Anyone who's in the chat, and I see y'all. Very good, Sun Eyes. Okay. Jamie, I do, and typically I post if I am hosting something, I post it. I have an inner circle who gets meetings sometimes that other people don't get, but if you get an inner circle, you can get that. But anytime I have a meeting or anything, I typically post it somewhere and let y'all know. On Instagram, Goddess BMS, Body, Mind, Spirit, Goddess BMS. You can go there. I'm getting ready to start communicating more on Instagram. And on Facebook, it's The Oracle Speaks. I don't really do much on my personal page. So y'all go to The Oracle Speaks on Facebook, and you'll know it's my page because you'll see my post and all that kind of good stuff. But does anyone have any Oya rituals, or if you work with Kali or Sekhmet? These are rituals where you'll be doing releasing work, okay? So do something to release. I want you to think about, during the Scorpio full moon, what is something you absolutely need to release? And ask yourself, are you really ready to release it? Because let me tell you something, if you're not ready to release it, then we can do all the rituals we want, but this thing will not be released. So let's say you say, you know what, I know I need to let this go, but I'm not ready to let it go. Then I would recommend that you come up with a game plan that will help you to ponder, why are you staying in relationship with something that has, you no longer should be engaging this thing, okay? And come up with a game plan to prepare yourself to release it. So may not be the time to release it, but you're at least going to give yourself an opportunity to think about what is like, because sometimes it takes a little bit of time to release. We think about how when I was working in domestic violence, they talked about, we have to be gentle on women who are in abusive relationships, because they typically have to leave multiple times before they actually stay gone, right? And it's like this back and forth thing. It's the same thing with something in our lives that we need to let go of. I recently let go of a teaching job that I'm like, wow, I'm doing this. It was a fitness class. And I really had been feeling like I just want to let this class go. It was just feeling nothing wrong with the class. I just was exhausted all the time. I never felt like I could recover, and my brain just was staying foggy. But then, as fitness instructors, it's hard breaking up with our classes. It's really like a breakup, but the pandemic has happened and given me an opportunity to say, I love y'all, but I'm not coming back. So let me give y'all an example. I had wanted to mention this in the beginning. Let me tell y'all just how much astrology, for me, is real. So it was actually when Venus was retrograde in Scorpio. This was November of 2018. And I knew I had to leave the other place where I was. I was like, my time is over. It's a local business where I was teaching fitness classes, corporate fit wellness. And I knew it was time to go. It was like, these classes are waning. This time is over. And all of a sudden, I got this call from an instructor friend who was like, hey, you want to come teach at the community center, which was just directly across the street. It was crazy. I was like, yeah. And so the lady really wanted bar. So I ended up taking on 3 classes. And I accepted this job right when Venus retrograde started. I was like, no. I was nervous, but I was like, I got to go. I got to go. And so right away, I saw problems. Like it was like this issue happened between my class and another class, but it worked out lovely, you know. But I've felt ill at ease the whole time I've been at this place. Well, if people, maybe I didn't mention it here, but because I was preparing for another astrological transit where I knew I needed to take my energy down. I don't know if y'all seen my video about me talking about being way more yin right now. I'm not yang. I don't have a whole lot of energy to be running and jumping and all that kind of good stuff. I'm chill. It's like I just need calmness and softness and gentleness and everything. And so I shifted to teaching water aerobics. And I taught water aerobics for about 3 weeks. And then they were like, y'all, we'll see y'all once this little sickness thing is over or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. I haven't been happier. I was like, yes. And so, of course, Venus retrograde is, next week, in about a week. And just yesterday, I turned in my notice saying, deuces. So it's like coming full circle almost to the exact transit. It's crazy. It's crazy. So y'all, I'm telling y'all, what can you start focusing on, releasing and letting go? This is the time. The last thing I'm going to say is for your rituals, what is it that you need to complete? We're also sort of at a time of completion. What is it that you need to complete? And I'm going to tell you why. You need to tie up the loose ends. We need to tie up the loose ends because Mars retrograde is coming. Mars retrograde, Venus retrograde. Venus is a benefic planet. Oshun is nice, y'all. We all know Oshun had her rule. Ursa Lee, very enjoyable and sweet, even though this energy is not going to be that way for a little while. But, Venus retrograde may not wreck you. It may throw some things off, but it may not wreck you. Mars is considered a malefic planet. Mars could wreck you. Mars could wreck you. So, if you're going ahead and tie up some loose ends right now, and that's just going to free you up to whatever happens with this Mars retrograde, whatever you are required to deal with during Mars retrograde, you will be completely freed up to focus on that. And then the other thing is, once we get to December, we are now stepping into a new era, a new phase. Okay. And so, wow, do you want to go into a new phase with, loose ends? Or do you want to get all those loose ends tied up? It's also too like, y'all think about Erykah Badu's song, Bad Lady. Are you going to go into the new era with bags from back then? No, where they doing that? Not here. They not doing that here. We not doing that, y'all. We not doing that. So take it very seriously. And it goes back to what I said. One of my teachers has said, and these words have been going through my mind today. In order to get the new life that you desire, it requires you to give up the old life. And it can be scary, but like we said, Scorpio's ruled by Mars. Mars is here for that. Mars is here for that. We have to have that courage, and we have to have that forward direction and focus and say, you know what? I'm willing to give up dysfunction. I'm willing to give up old habits. I'm willing to give up fear in order to get what I want. And, you know, you watch the people who have succeeded, that's all they've done. They've just made choices towards where they want to be. And that's all you have to do. Just keep making choices. Take full responsibility for everything that happens. Don't give anybody your power. Okay, stand fully in your power. If you trusted someone and they you know, did you wrong or whatever, take full responsibility. Like, you know what? That'll show me. Next time I'll know. Okay, the sign was fill in the blank. This person was showing me signs that they're not trustworthy. And so, okay, now I know. Now I know what to look for. See, that's going back to what I talked about, the opportunity. Okay, this sucked, but there's an opportunity in this. Okay. Let me see if anybody else has said anything. Hello, priestess. Okay, so she said, my EM said, my favorite releasing ritual is to use fire. I like that. Very nice. Using you letting go of a teaching job too, EM. I heard that. Okay, so Jamie asks, can you recommend a site or okay, so Suneye said Daft Moon app. What was I using before I knew astrology? What's her name? What is the name of that app that April told us about? There is an app I used to use, but I don't use it anymore. Yeah, I'll post it on my it comes to me. I'll post it on the community tab on my YouTube, Jamie. But there is another one that's good too. I've never used Daft app, so I don't know about that one. So try that one. And Daft Moon app is what it says here. But yeah, I can't think of the name of it. I will say I also look at it now. If you need interpretations, it's not here, but if I just need a little quick and dirty look at where the placements are, you know, I just go to astro.com. There they are right there. There they are right there. Yeah. I hate that I can't think of that other app. But okay, let's see here. Any other questions? You're welcome. Time passages. Thank you. Tara or Tara. I don't know how you say your name. Time passages. See, I brought that to us, not via me, but through my sort of namesake, because that's my other name, Tara. Look at that, Tarra. I'm Ti, 2 R's in the name. Yes, I think that's it. So just a reminder, I do have a special if you need a quick reading. You can go, I can just show you. You can go to my website. Right there. 5 left. And then, excuse me, let me say it. $35 mini readings. It's a 30-minute reading. And yeah, anyone who's ever gotten a reading with me knows I do everything I can to equip you with what you need to know. I don't do fluff readings. I do use, you know, my mental net. I try to bring in the spirituality, and I try to bring in I don't try. I bring in the spirituality and I bring in the practicality, okay? Because I was like, yeah, I love getting all this high spiritual knowledge, but what I'm supposed to do with it? And then, where are we? The other thing I have is this Venus retrograde class, which I don't even know if I finished talking about just because I got so lost in talking about how important Venus retrograde is. But like I said, it comes with a journal. And I taught a class a few days ago about this. So you get the class, and it's available only until May 14th. And the readings are available until Monday. So either they're going to sell out or the offer goes away on Monday. And you can buy this class until I put it through Venus retrograde, when Venus goes retrograde. I recommend that you get it as soon as possible. $11.11, y'all. It's not a lot. It's a nice little investment for something that's going to really pay off. So that's until May 14th. Venus goes retrograde May 13th. So I just wanted to make sure y'all could get that and all that kind of good stuff. And get your journal, which I showed y'all. It's a free journal that I put out for the month of May. Y'all fill that journal out. And keep me posted on how things go for you with this full moon in Scorpio. Yeah. I'm going to end with this. This has been one of the roughest years to talk astrology and spirituality. I thought last year was pretty rough. I just lose my breath sometimes when I think about it. But look, we've made it this far, y'all. We may as well just keep going. We may as well just keep going. But it's not going to be necessarily like a year of ease and flow, as you can already tell. It's just not. But that doesn't mean that we have to be taken out by it. Yeah? All right. Thank you all so much. May the oracle be your guiding light. Blessings of the mothers and the ancestors be upon you all. I truly appreciate you for spending time with me. And I look forward to hearing about how you have prospered and really benefited from the healing, powerful, and financial full moon in Scorpio. Love y'all and see y'all in the next video. Peace and love. Bye, y'all. Oh, let me use this.